Seaside. Oh, it's fabulous! A strike to get you up off your seats.
Hello and welcome to Seagulls Social. This is the Bournemouth at home match preview, and I am joined by Jack Albion. How are you, mate? You all good?
Yeah, I'm good. We're definitely not filming this seconds after we finish the Southampton review.
Basically, we realised that it's a very quick turnaround. We want to try and get this out before at least 24 hours before the game, so people can actually listen to it. So yes, we are filming this straight after the Southampton match reaction. But yeah, we have to discuss the game, Jack. It's a massive, massive game. Like I said, the Battle of the South Coast again. In 3 days we've played two South Coast teams, and Bournemouth obviously very differing form to Southampton. Southampton bottom of the league, whereas Bournemouth flying high in fifth with 43 points. We're only 3 points behind them. They have had a bit of a couple of results recently. Of course, they have played Liverpool, which is you don't expect to beat Liverpool, especially the way they're playing at the moment, but they lost 2-0. But they did have an interesting loss. Wolves at home, they did lose 1-0 on the weekend, which was a big, big result. So obviously went down to 10 men as well. Zabani getting sent off, which was obviously a big thing. I know you mentioned it in the match reaction for Southampton, but that's a huge plus for us because he's touted as one of the best sort of young centre halves in the league. But yeah, Bournemouth, they're flying high. Talk to me, Jack. Are you confident going into this one?
No, I'm never confident playing Bournemouth. I just feel like they're a bogey team and we're cursed against them. Even back to like the League One days, I remember when we played them at the Withdean and who was it? Steve Fletcher handballed it inside our area, and for some odd reason they gave a penalty against us. And I remember going down there. One of my first away games was not one of my first away games. I've been to quite a few by that point. But anyway, one of the first memories I have of going down to Dean Court. I think it's the first time I went to Dean Court. Dean Henderson dropping it in his own net within the in the 90th minute. So I'm not very confident going into Bournemouth games. But look, it's become a huge game. Don't think we expected that. With the coefficient that this game basically could move us into Champions League contention and we'd be fighting it out with Bournemouth for Champions League. I think that's a credit to both
imagine
clubs.
You said that 10 years ago.
Yeah, I know.
Insane.
I give Bournemouth a lot of stick, mainly because they haven't built a new bigger stadium yet, but they are actually trying to build it now, so we'll give them some credit. But I think it's a testament to both clubs over the last 10, 20 or so years to find themselves both in this position. I think they've got a very talented young manager. I'm going to stop showering them with compliments in a minute, but and they've actually done really well since their relegation to sort of make intelligent signings and rather than just sort of what I think they were before under Howe a little bit, where it was just sort of buy somebody who's not really got that much potential but can really sort you out for the here and now. And now they sort of they're almost copying our model in a little bit of a way where they're buying very young, very cheap. Very high potential players, and they're doing really, really well with it. And that's not to say that we invented that model, but that's also that they're probably taking a leaf out of our book. I think we've set a really good standard for clubs of our size to sort of come up to that level, and I think Bournemouth is sort of following in the footsteps a little bit. And good luck to them to a certain extent, but not on Tuesday.
Yes, no, 100%. And Jack, you're so right as well in terms of their squad. Just looking through their squad, they've got some really, really good players. A lot of underrated players, a lot of young, exciting prospects. Obviously, I thought Kepa, he made an incredible save against Wolves. I know they lost that game, but he pulled off this amazing double save. And the ball hit the post and then it came out and then he made this incredible save. But he's obviously he's been at Chelsea. I think he's a Champions League winner, I believe. He's a top quality goalkeeper. And then you look through the defence, you've got the likes of Heisen, you've got Zabani, who I know is going to miss the game through suspension, but Heisen and Zabani have been incredible. You've got Milos Kerkez at left back. Then you look through their midfield and attack, you've got Justin Kluivert, you've got Otara, who's playing really well, Semenyo, Sinistera. They've got quality all over the pitch. And it is a big worry, isn't it, going up against a good quality, Bournemouth side who are flying as well.
Yeah, I mean, I was just having a look through their squad. I mean, I was looking at their team that started at the weekend, and I saw Hill at left back, and I did get a bit confused who Hill was, and I thought it definitely can't be Clint Hill because he must be about 50 now. But
Harry
you know,
Hill.
that's or Harry Hill, but they've got James Hill, who looks like a youth product. So fair play to that. You know, they're sort of bringing through players, and I think it's really positive squad. They've got a hard squad, but I don't see why we can't beat them. I wouldn't say that we've got a better squad. I wouldn't say they've got a particularly better squad. I think we're pretty similar levels. I think we've got a lot of very good individual talent, and they've got a lot of very good individual talent. And it'll be interesting to sort of see how they sort of get on in that game, really.
No, definitely. No, it's going to be interesting to see how we set up, whether it's going to be similar to Southampton, whether it's going to be similar to Chelsea in terms of how we set up. Obviously, barring injuries, I know we've got, Veltman was out for the last game. Mm-hmm. We had Welbeck out for the last game. So it'll be interesting to see who starts. Obviously, Estepina's made his way back. Does he come into the side? But I think Derek Lamptey's been so good that you probably can't displace him at this moment in time. So it'll be really interesting to see. In terms of changes, Jack, would you make any from the game against Southampton?
Maybe, possibly. I wouldn't mind seeing Veltman come back in. I like Jack, but I think he's best in midfield. Mm-hmm. It's a very different test, though, isn't it? Like, you know, two South Coast clubs and two complete opposite ends of the spectrum here. You know, I think, you know, I wouldn't say we were complacent at all, actually, against Southampton, which was really good. But, you know, we can't be complacent in this game. We can't. There's no room for error, so everybody's got to be on their A game. I'm quite happy with keeping it the same and just trying what we're doing. I think, you know, one of the big benefits of how we're playing now with Hursley's football is it's just simple back to basic stuff, which is really, really good.
Yeah, and talking about I listed probably pretty much the whole team here, but who are you most worried about when it comes to Bournemouth? Because they got some really good players, especially in that attacking front. You got Kluivert who's playing really well. You got Semenyo who's been really, really good this season. You know, obviously attacking wise, who are you most worried about?
Funnily enough, I'm quite worried about them from set pieces. So I think Hyson's really, really effective, and their two centre backs are good from set pieces. But you know, I think you've listed most of the names there, like Semenyo and Ouattara, and they're all really, really top players on their day. You know, a hat-trick against Nottingham Forest the other week is not to be sniffed at. But you know, they've had a little bit of a dodgy patch in the last couple of games. So it'll be interesting to see sort of how they recover from that and see how they take the game to us. But I think both teams were sort of probably had one eye on tonight when they played yesterday, and they one eye on Tuesday night, not tonight, to sort of, you know, rest players who they're going to play as an option. So, you know, Ariola's quite an intelligent manager, so it'll be interesting to sort of see how he sets up.
Yeah, no, you talk about Areola. He's been fantastic. You could argue, like, you know, one of the front runners for manager of the season as well.
Yeah,
and I think the way he's revolutionised Bournemouth has been, you know, he's taken them. Howell done a brilliant job. He done so well to, make them a really, stable, sort of, you know, always in the mix in that sort of mid-table, and he's done a great job. But I think Areola's elevated that, hasn't he? He's taken that one step forward now, where they are battling. You know, I remember I put in one of my group chats a couple of months ago when they were doing really well, and I was like, I think they can get European football. I didn't say Champions League. I said sort of, you know, Europa League, Conference League potentially, and they're now, you know, a couple of points off Champions League football. So they are flying high. It's going to be a real tough test, and yeah, I am. I'm not going into this game confident, but the way we've been playing these last three games, Southampton, Chelsea, we've shown that we can play really good football. Hopefully, you know, against at home, as well. You know, playing under the lights at home is going to be, again, hopefully we can bring the noise. We can do what we did replicate sort of the atmosphere that we've had in these last sort of under the lights games at the Amex. And yeah, there's no reason why we can't win this game, but it is going to be a real tough test because, like you mentioned, Jack, they are a really progressive and exciting football team. Which, it reminds of, like you said, it reminds me of Brighton. You know, it's like two similar teams going at it, and I think it's going to be a high quality, hopefully, you know, high scoring in our favour game, and I'm really excited to see how it goes. And there's no reason why we can't do it, barring any injuries, any surprise injuries that might pop up the day before or the day.
No, players just seem to occasionally not appear in the squad, don't they? So
it's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, I think, you know, they've got, like you say, they've I like Areola. I think he's a really good. I think he's really adaptable. I think he's really, he sort of knows his squad and plays it well, and he doesn't need loads and loads of money to do so. Whereas I think Eddie Howe, for whatever job he does, I mean, I don't like Eddie Howe. I think Eddie Howe's a knob. But to be pretty honest, I don't think I could watch a Brighton team with him.
Do you like Jason Tyndall?
I think he's a knob as well. And this is just the truth. And I think he makes Bournemouth a lot more likeable. A lot more easy on the eye, and he seems like quite a likeable guy. He's got a rich history in Spanish football. So it's interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough game. Let's talk about the predictions then, Jack. How do you see this game going? What's your match prediction?
1-1.
Oh, 1-1.
1-1. Yeah, I think I can't see I don't want to be too optimistic and go for a win, and I think it's going to be a tight occasion. Whoever's going to score first, I think it's going to be KG. KG is fuck, we're going to say. I think they're definitely going to sit back, and they've got this sort of same idea that we have, that you can adapt to games. You don't have to play pretty football to get results, and they'll want to squeeze out a result. So yeah, I can see one of us scoring first, and then just kind of sitting back and absorbing for a long time, and we shall see, shan't we?
We shall. Do you know what? You've charmed me. I also do think it is going to be a tightly fought contest. I'm going to go 2-2. I'm going to go 2-2. High scoring affair. But yeah, I think they are a very good side, Bournemouth. They will come to play, and I think it'll be one of those high scoring affairs. Maybe I know you said it was cagey, but I don't know. I think it's gonna yield a few goals, I think, and hopefully we can nick it. Maybe if it's 3-2 or 2-1, wherever it might be. Hopefully, but yeah, I agree with you. I think we have to go into this a little bit cautious, and I think they're a very, very good side. We can't underestimate them. They're a very, very good side, even though they lost the Wolves on the weekend. I don't think that's really an indictment of what they're all about. So yeah, I'm going to go 2-2. I think good game under the lights, and hopefully we carry on from there. But Jack, thank you so much for coming on. There is our match preview. Hopefully it goes our way. Please like, comment, and subscribe, all that good stuff. And if you're listening on Spotify and Apple, leave us a review. That would be great. But yeah, over and out, and we shall see you. Is it Fulham after?
No, it's Newcastle Cup.
Newcastle in the Cup. There we go. Big game that. So yeah, we'll be back for that. So peace out.